And welcome back to Ask a Newsworker. In today's video, we're going to talk about obituaries. Obituaries are a big part of the news industry, the news business. Do news outlets pre-write or prepare obituary material before the person in question has actually died? Yes, we do. Again, it's a matter of preparation. We're doing it because we want to be prepared for the inevitable passing of the person in question. I'm recording this on the day of the death of Queen Elizabeth II of Britain. Rest in peace to her. News outlets definitely had material prepared in the anticipation of her passing. I have worked for many news outlets that had an obit file with material in it anticipating the deaths of famous people, significant people, people who had perhaps confirmed illnesses of some sort. When Alex Trebek was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer, some obituary material was prepared just in case he didn't make it, and unfortunately he did not. But as a result, when his passing came, we had material ready to go for our clients. We didn't have to scramble and go, oh, Alex Trebek died, we better write something up. People in the news business, no, we're human beings too. We understand that people unfortunately pass from the earth, and sometimes we see it coming, again, through things like old age or disease, but sometimes we don't. For example, Kobe Bryant. We did not have obituary material prepared for Kobe Bryant because Kobe Bryant was not expected to die when he did. So that was a situation where news people were scrambling to put together obituary material on a person who was still quite young and healthy, from what I understand. He was just involved in an accident that took his life. That's a separate situation. But with Queen Elizabeth, Alex Trebek in his case, people who, again, are getting on in age or have been diagnosed with something serious, yes, most responsible, professional, credible news outlets will prepare some form of obituary material that's ready to go for when the day arrives. There'll be certain details missing, like where they actually died, the exact context or circumstances of their passing, but there will be something in there, usually biographical information, usually historical information, perhaps quotes from things they said over the years, and then the rest is plugged in the day of, because there will be reaction on the day. For example, today there's been reaction from world leaders around the world giving special tributes, condolences to Queen Elizabeth, which then have to be included in the final file before it's published. But the file was started a while back, and when it was started depends on the organization. I'd imagine the BBC in particular probably started their Queen Elizabeth obit file a while back, maybe when she entered her 90s, or maybe when there was first word that she had an illness or was injured or was experiencing health difficulties. Again, I don't know the Queen's full health profile or what she was going through. A lot of that's quite private, but I'd imagine they started their obit file a while ago just so they were ready, because they knew that people will be turning to the BBC of all outlets on the day of Queen Elizabeth's death. And as a result, they wanted to be prepared. I don't know how many outlets outside the English language perhaps had obit material on Queen Elizabeth, but maybe they did. They might have obit material on some of their cherished leaders and significant members of society that perhaps English outlets would not have. For example, Denmark has a queen, and they probably have an obit file on her for when the day comes. I believe she's healthy and fine for the time being. I don't know a ton about the Queen of Denmark, but I know they have a queen. But a Danish news outlet will probably have a prepared obituary of some sort on the go when the time comes, but they might not have had one on Queen Elizabeth. They might have relied on BBC and English language reporting to provide that for them. Not every news outlet does the work to create a file for every single person, every single story, including obituaries. They'll often just wait for another outlet to do it for them and maybe translate. There's some sort of content sharing deal sometimes. So it really depends. So Queen Elizabeth's death has been reported around the world in many different languages, but I don't know how many of those outlets, say outside of the Anglosphere, the English-speaking world, had prepared files on her. But in the English-speaking world, the BBC almost certainly did. American outlets, Canadian outlets almost certainly had obituary material prepared and ready to go for when the time came. And that was today. Sadly, again, rest in peace to her. I've been in many situations where I've handled obit material about a person who was still living at that time. It is morbid. It is strange. It feels weird. But from the perspective of the news business, we're just trying to be prepared for something we know is going to happen. If they're very old in age, if they're ill with something serious, we know it's going to happen. So it's just a matter of being ready for when the time comes, so that we have something to offer the public, offer our clients who pay for our services immediately, so we don't have to scramble to write something that, again, we knew sadly was going to take place. So have you wondered in the past, do news outlets pre-write obituary material for people who then die? Yes, but it's a matter of being prepared. It's not about being morbid or hoping that a person passes or anything like that. Some people might have some superstition about it. It's really just a matter of being prepared and ready to go. So I hope this answered your questions or satisfied your curiosity about that. If you have any other questions about how the news business approaches obituaries, I can answer them in the comments or through email. Thanks again for watching, and rest in peace, Queen Elizabeth.